Well, what's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of Paris, NYC, or Barcelona? The food, the nightlife? Sure, those are great, but let's be honest. Nothing beats the jaw-dropping landmarks that make these cities unforgettable. Whether it's craning your neck at the Eiffel Tower, getting that perfectly timed shot holding up the Leaning Tower of Pisa, or standing in absolute awe at Petra's ancient rose-red city, these world-famous icons are what make travel so thrilling. And guess what? We're about to take you on a virtual tour of 15 of the most extraordinary landmarks you have to see to believe. Some are historical wonders, others are modern architectural marvels, but every single one will leave you speechless. So, get ready to add a few more destinations to your bucket list, because once you see these, there's no going back. Number 15. Eiffel Tower. If you were to stop a random Parisian and ask them what they think of the Eiffel Tower, don't be surprised if you get a mix of love and indifference. Back when it was built for the 1889 World's Fair, critics called it an iron monstrosity. But fast forward over a century, and it's the most visited paid monument in the world. Gustave Eiffel's design beat over 100 others, proving that sometimes the underdog wins. Originally, it was supposed to be dismantled after 20 years, but it turned out to be very useful for radio transmissions. Lucky for us, because now it stands proudly at 330 meters, offering one of the best views in Paris. Located near the Seine, the Louvre, and the Arc de Triomphe, it's the perfect sightseeing spot. And trust us, the view from the top is worth every step or elevator ride. If Eiffel isn't your thing, well, head over to Catacombs. Number 14. Big Ben. So, how big is Big Ben? Well, short answer, very. But before we dive into its size, let's clear up a common mistake. Big Ben isn't the clock tower itself. That's actually called Elizabeth Tower. Big Ben is the massive 14-ton bell inside, named after Sir Benjamin Hall, the Commissioner of Public Works who oversaw the Houses of Parliament's construction. And yes, it's big. That bell weighs about the same as 28 grand pianos. Together with the Westminster Bridge, it creates that classic London postcard scene. Just throw in a red double-decker bus, and you've got yourself a masterpiece. The tower has stood strong since 1859, withstanding bombings, restorations, and even a slight tilt. Yep, it leans a bit. While virtual tours are an option, nothing beats seeing it in person, especially when the chimes echo across Westminster. If you want to make 2025 extra special, well, don't miss this extra special landmark. Trust us, you won't regret it. Number 13. Sydney Opera House in numbers. Would you believe us if we told you that 7 jumbo jets could fit inside the Sydney Opera House wing to wing? That's how massive this iconic landmark is. The roof alone is covered with over 1 million ceramic tiles, giving it that signature shimmering effect. Standing as tall as a 22-story building, the Opera House is a masterpiece of modern architecture. Though the Utzon Room is considered the smallest space in the venue, it still seats over 200 people, so small is a relative term here. With more than 7 performance venues, the Opera House welcomes around 11 million visitors each year. Now, here's the super fun fact. To keep everything looking perfect, 15,500 light bulbs are replaced annually. Well, yup, that's true. And when the musicians take the stage, the temperature is maintained at a precise 22.5 degrees Celsius to protect their instruments. As they say, numbers don't lie. This is one of the most fascinating landmarks in the world. Number 12. The Great Wall of China. We hate to be the bearers of bad news, but no, the Great Wall of China is not visible from space with the naked eye. That doesn't make it any less impressive, though. Spanning over 13,000 miles, this is the longest man-made structure in history. Overseen by 6 Chinese dynasties, the wall is estimated to be around 2,300 years old. Imagine the sheer amount of history packed into those ancient bricks. If you're up for a challenge, consider hiking part of it. Just don't expect to conquer the whole thing in one go. Walking its full length would take about a year and a half. Many visitors head to the Huairou district, which offers some of the best preserved sections. And if you really want to impress your friends, why not join a charity trek across the wall? Not only would you be making history, but you'd be helping a great cause too. Number 11. The Statue of Liberty. First things first, her real name isn't even the Statue of Liberty. Meet Liberty, enlightening the world, the brainchild of abolitionist Édouard René de La Boulaye and sculptor Frédéric Auguste Bartholdi. Standing tall at 93 meters, she's an undeniable symbol of freedom and hope. But here's a bizarre twist. If Thomas Edison had his way, the Statue of Liberty would have talked. He proposed installing a gigantic gramophone inside so she could literally greet visitors as they arrived in New York. Imagine stepping off the boat and being welcomed by a booming mechanical, "Hello, welcome to America." We're grateful that idea never took off. Some things are better left quiet. To see her up close, you'll need to hop on a ferry to Liberty Island, where you can admire her from afar, since all the decks are closed to visitors. But as they say, if you want to see something extraordinary, you got to go the extra mile, and that mile is totally worth it. Number 10. Sagrada Familia. George Orwell was not a fan. In homage to Catalonia, he called it one of the most hideous buildings in the world, and even suggested anarchists should have blown it up during the revolution. But we beg to differ. Designed by Antoni Gaudí, the Sagrada Familia is one of the most stunning basilicas ever built. Inspired by nature, its intricate details and surreal structure make it a true architectural masterpiece. The only issue? It's still not finished. Construction began in 1882, and even Gaudí only saw a quarter of it completed before he passed. If all goes well, though, it'll finally be finished by 2026, over 140 years later. Until then, you can still marvel at its towering spires, breathtaking stained glass, and otherworldly design. If Barcelona is on your travel list, this is a must-visit. Check out our guide to learn more before you go. Number 9. The Disappearing Door of the Pyramid of Giza. We can't talk about famous landmarks without mentioning this ancient wonder. Did you know that the Great Pyramid of Giza is one of only 3 pyramids known to have a swivel door? Weighing around 20 tons, this massive stone door was perfectly balanced, allowing it to be opened from the inside with ease, while being nearly invisible from the outside. No wonder people speculate about alien involvement. But the real credit goes to the 30,000 skilled masons, architects, and engineers who built this marvel over 4,500 years ago. The precision with which it was constructed continues to baffle historians today. Located just outside Cairo, the pyramid's setting offers a striking contrast of ancient history and modern cityscape. Whether you're standing before its towering limestone blocks or picturing how that mysterious door once worked, visiting this site is an unforgettable experience. Want more mind-blowing facts? Giza never disappoints. Number 8. The Romance of the Taj Mahal. When Shah Jahan's beloved wife Mumtaz Mahal passed away due to childbirth complications, he poured his grief into building the most breathtaking tomb in history. The Taj Mahal, a true wonder of the world, took 20 years to complete, requiring the labor of 20,000 artisans and thousands of elephants. This architectural masterpiece seamlessly blends Islamic, Persian, and Indian styles, creating a flawless symmetry that delights design lovers to this day. The intricate carvings and Quranic inscriptions add to its ethereal beauty, with one of the most touching verses dedicated to Mumtaz Mahal. O soul, you are at rest. Return to the Lord in peace with him, and he at peace with you. The Taj Mahal isn't just a building. It's a love story carved in marble. If you visit at sunrise or sunset, the changing colors of the white stone make it seem almost alive. Now that's romance. Can you do that for your wife or girlfriend? Well, Definitely not. Number 7. Stonehenge. Deep in the rolling fields of Wiltshire stands one of the world's greatest mysteries, Stonehenge. These towering 4-meter-high stones form a near-perfect circle, but why? Was it a burial site, an astronomical calendar, or perhaps a message from extraterrestrials? Theories abound, but no one knows for sure. What we do know is that Stonehenge is roughly 5,000 years old and has evolved over time. Some legends claim the stones were transported by giants before the wizard Merlin magically moved them to England, an explanation we'd love to believe. But in reality, the logistics of moving these massive stones with ancient tools only adds to the intrigue. Despite its unknown origins, Stonehenge continues to captivate visitors from around the world. If you're planning a UK trip, this site is a must-see. No matter how many famous landmarks you visit, this prehistoric wonder will stay with you forever. Number 6. Machu Picchu. It's a good thing the Spanish conquistadors never found Machu Picchu, or we might have lost one of the most breathtaking landmarks in history. Built in the 15th century by the Inca, this hidden citadel is a marvel, not just for its stunning mountaintop location, but for its genius engineering. The foundation of Machu Picchu was crafted using stones from the valley below, carefully cut and fitted together so precisely that no mortar was needed. This technique made it incredibly resistant to earthquakes, something modern architects still admire. And let's not forget the surroundings. Perched high above the sacred valley, the views are just as impressive as the ruins themselves. And of course, no visit is complete without meeting Machu Picchu's furry residents, the llamas. They roam freely across the site, so don't leave without snapping a selfie with one. After all, did you really visit Machu Picchu if you don't have a llama photo? Number 5. Moscow Kremlin, home of the world's biggest bell. The sheer scale and splendor of the Moscow Kremlin could keep us talking for hours, and that's about how long it'll take you to explore its palaces, cathedrals, and fortress walls. Overlooking the Moskva River, this iconic complex dominates the heart of Moscow, embodying centuries of Russian history. But let's talk about the real heavyweight of the Kremlin, Tsar Bell, the largest bell ever cast. Standing 20.1 feet tall and weighing an astonishing 200 tons, this bronze beauty is so massive that it was never even rung. And yet, it gives Big Ben a run for its money. Its surface is adorned with intricate Baroque reliefs, making it a masterpiece of craftsmanship, despite its unfortunate break during a fire in the 18th century. From the towering red brick walls to the golden domes of its cathedrals, the Kremlin is a true symbol of Russian grandeur. Number 4. Hagia Sophia. Hagia Sophia has seen it all, from an Orthodox church to a mosque, then a museum, and back to a mosque again. And it shows. Its architecture is a stunning mix of Christian and Islamic influences, both inside and out. While some original iconostases were lost over time, the breathtaking blend of Byzantine mosaics and Quranic verses still makes this place one of the most unique landmarks in the world. But here's something you might not know. Hagia Sophia holds a wishing column, rumored to grant wishes. No scientific proof backs this up, so take it as you will. The ritual? Stick your thumb into the hole, try to rotate it in a full circle, and if your finger comes out wet, your wish is believed to come true. In simple words, this place will leave you in awe. Number 3. Colosseum. The world's largest amphitheater has seen it all. Gladiator battles, roaring crowds, and even a Billy Joel concert. Built nearly 2,000 years ago, the Colosseum has withstood earthquakes, looters, and over 6 million tourists annually. But beneath its grandeur lies a brutal history. More than 50,000 people and 1 million animals met their fate on this very ground. And while today a thumbs up is a cheerful gesture, back then it meant the exact opposite. Some historians believe this infamous hand signal originated here, deciding whether a gladiator lived or died. So, next time you casually flash a thumbs up, just remember, it once had a far grimmer meaning. Number 2. The lightning loves Cristo Redentor. Speaking of world-famous monuments, let's head to Brazil. Towering above Rio de Janeiro from Mount Corcovado, the Art Deco Christ the Redeemer statue is a breathtaking sight. At 98 feet tall, it's one of the most recognizable religious monuments on the planet. It also makes for a unique wedding spot. There's a small chapel at its base, making it a dream destination for couples tying the knot. But don't plan your big day during a storm. The statue gets struck by lightning around 6 times a year. Without the installed lightning rods, that number would be even higher. Despite these frequent encounters with nature, Cristo Redentor stands strong. However, the strikes have chipped parts of the statue, including a piece of Jesus' thumb. But hey, a little damage hasn't stopped it from being one of the most awe-inspiring landmarks in the world. Number 1. Burj Khalifa. If you thought Burj Khalifa was only known for its ridiculous height, think again. At 2,716.5 feet, it's the tallest man-made structure on Earth, but it also holds 6 more world records. For starters, it has the highest observation deck, the tallest elevator system, and the most floors in a single building, 160. You can also dine at the highest restaurant in the world, located on the 122nd floor. And if that's not extreme enough, let's talk about the record-breaking daredevils. In 2011, Alain Robert, aka French Spider-Man, climbed the entire Burj Khalifa with no ropes or harness, taking just over 6 hours. Then there's the fearless duo, Fred Fugan and Vince Refet, who base jumped straight from the top. If you're more into sightseeing than free-falling, a visit to this futuristic marvel is a must. Well, hope you have enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you pretty soon in the next one.